Alright, so guys, what's up? This is gonna be the weirdest video ever for me. I've never done a talking video, so yeah, bear with me. A lot of people probably wonder why I haven't been posting any videos, why I haven't been doing anything, and there's a reason for that, you know. I've been through a lot of shit, a lot has happened in a very short period, and yeah, a lot has been changed in my life. My surroundings have been changed. I moved to a different country. I started my own business. I have now put more of a focus on bodybuilding and my business. That's all I care about right now. Yeah, it's been a long road. You know, making this video is awkward for me. You know, I've never done any talking really in my videos. You know, I've never been one of those camera people, I guess. I never had the confidence to do that, but I figure it's gonna change, you know. What this really is more of a video diary actually, so you're probably gonna see a lot more now, you know, different stuff, not just training videos, but you know, stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with bodybuilding, but you know, I look into my life basically, what's been going on, what I've been doing, what I'm trying to build here. It's a lot different now, so I thought, you know, not just for you guys, but also for me, you know, that maybe someday I'll have something to look back on. Even the videos that I have now, I can look back on and I think like, damn, I was small back then, you know. But it's quite interesting to see how your life can evolve and change, and you know, the choices that you make sometimes can have such an impact, you know. Up until this point, my life has been pretty tough, you know, I'm not gonna lie, but we're gonna try to stay positive as possible. So, but things are looking better now, you know. I moved away from all the negativity and misery and left some really bad people behind, and I think that was necessary. You know, sometimes you get influenced by bad people, you know, you think you're helping them and they stab you in the back. That's what happened, you know. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It definitely is. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not gonna bitch about it, you know. I'm just gonna move on now. I'm gonna make more videos, spend time with my business, just getting my focus on that, and bodybuilding, you know. It really feels like I'm 16 again, you know. I moved over here all alone, and I just feel like it's kind of a boarding school situation where like just training and working and doing nothing else, and it feels refreshing really. You know, I've been working out twice a day again, and it feels amazing. It feels amazing, you know, you're in that zone, you're motivated again, and there's no negativity here. It's, you know, a change of environment can really do you good. You might not realize, but you know, the people that you're around with are sometimes so into you, and they change you in a way that makes you a bad person when you're really not. And they get you into all these crazy situations, and they ruin your opportunities. And so being here, it was amazing, you know. The local community has been very welcoming. People are so nice over here. It's insane, you know. People are so much friendlier over here, and it's crazy to me, you know. I've been, after 13 years, you know, you're kind of used to people not liking you, or you know, just because you're different doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you, but it feels like there is something wrong with you when you're surrounded by the bad people, you know, even though there's nothing wrong. So being here, people were so nice and so welcoming, and hospitality has been great. It's amazing to me, you know. It really is. I wasn't expecting that, so Yeah, this is gonna be maybe a daily series. You know, I might film every day. I might not post every day because not all of the footage is gonna be good. You know, sometimes, you know, I might go through some shitty stuff and I'm not gonna post it. You know, but I am gonna talk about it. I think it helps. You know, me. I started a diary recently, so you know, I do think it helps. I used to do this as a kid, and when you read it back a couple of years later, you're like, wow, you know, I really did that. You know, I really, you know. Um, but yeah, it's kind of interesting to see. For me also to track my progress, and you know, the last 2 years haven't been easy, and I haven't really made any progress. You know, I've been training, I've been eating like a madman, but I got nothing to show for it. So this year is gonna be a focus on me. I'm just gonna focus on myself, get everybody the fuck out of the way, you know, and focus on me like I'm supposed to. I spent so much time trying to help other people, and it did nothing for me, you know. It just didn't help me. And I think a lot of people make this mistake, like they they tend to focus on other people. You know, this might sound really selfish now, but sometimes you have to look at yourself and at the progress that you're making in your life, and then you'll come to a realization of, okay, I don't have a car, or I don't make that much money, or I haven't started my own business yet, which I was planning to do years ago. You know, it just doesn't happen. You know, for some reason, because you're spending all the time on the wrong people, on the wrong things, and this is a way for me to reflect on that. You know, I can look at this video in a couple of months and be like, okay, I said that back then, and what have I done till now? You know, have I achieved what I wanted to do? And I think it's going to be great, actually. You know, I always see these video vlogs of people, and they're so random, you know, doing such random things, and it's like, why not? I can do that, right? It just seems, yeah, of a good way to track my progress. So, where are we at? I'm 113 kilos. I've come down from 120 kilos. So the goal I talked about in the earlier videos of 115 has already been reached, you know, months ago, probably a year even. So that wasn't very hard, but it wasn't in good condition. So right now I'm training twice a day, like I said. I'm doing cardio, everything. My diet is clean as fuck. It drives me insane. No sugar at all. It's driving me crazy, but whatever, I don't care. You know, I've been trying to just get lean, not just focus on the weight all the time like I used to. I got up to 120 and it wasn't pretty. Let me just tell you that. So now I'm just focused on looking good, looking better each day, and just, yeah, putting on the size. It takes time. It takes a ton of time, let me tell you. Like, I believe the last pictures I posted were about maybe 2 years ago, and I was 108. So now I'm 113. So that's 5 kilos different, but I don't know if there's a huge difference in conditioning, you know. I'd say I was leaner back then, so maybe I gained like 3 kilos in 2 years, which is nothing, you know. And when I was 120, I thought, oh damn, you know, I've got 12 kilos on my frame now, you know, this is going to be huge, but I didn't realize I was fat, you know. And that's a problem with, you know, not taking pictures, not making videos, is that you don't see yourself. And when you don't see yourself, you think you look fucking awesome, but you don't. You don't. You're a fat fuck. And I'm still a fat fuck, you know, I realize that. So I'm working on it, but I'm not just focused on the weight anymore, you know. It's just bad. This constant obsession of how heavy you are makes you look like a fat pig, basically. And that's not what bodybuilding is about, alright? So that's what this is. A look into my life. maybe a daily video vlog. I don't know if I can video it every day, but I'm gonna try. You know, I'm gonna try to film some workouts. I'm doing all of this by myself now, so bear with me, guys. Don't push me if I didn't post a video. I'm gonna try. I'm editing all this by myself. Most of it's gonna be raw video footage because I don't have any understanding of how to cut videos and how to edit all that shit out. So I don't know. Alright, so yeah, let me show you what I've been up to. A look into my life. For real. So you guys, let me show you what I've been up to. So this is my little kitchen setup here with a samurai sword. Always comes in handy. You know, got my blender over there for my shakes and for my morning pancake. A scale. I use an old one. I have a digital scale, but it always fucks with me. So we're not going to use that. And you can tell this is a bodybuilder's fridge. Nothing but meat and rice. All the good stuff. This is sugar free, I promise. And to show you what I've been working on, is basically I'm painting right now. Setting up the shop. Doing all of this. And this. It's a lot. It's a lot. Trust me. It's actually pretty big, you know. I moved here. I saw the space and I thought, you know what? This is going to be awesome. This is going to be ideal. So yeah. That's basically it. You know, painting my shit. Working all day, every day. That's basically it. So right now, just gonna focus on painting. Maybe I'll even get a second job, you know, get some extra money rolling, because I want to buy a car. My dream car is a Mustang, so I might go for that, you know. I might go for that for my first car. I don't care. I don't give a fuck, you know. Just save some money and then I'll make it happen. And yeah. What else do I gotta do? I gotta train today, my second session. This morning I trained legs. It was fucking hell. It really fucked me up. Like, I was so nauseous after. Like, I almost puked my shake out. It was bad. But tonight's gonna be a little bit chiller. You know, everything's destroyed right now. It's just a complete train wreck. I'm gonna train lower back, abs, and forearms. It's gonna be the weirdest workout ever, but there's nothing left. There's nothing left to train. So what do I do? Right? Fuck. It's gonna be a disaster. I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow though. Everything's gonna be fucked up. I might train chest, but it's still sore as shit though. It's gonna be a difficult one. You know, I'm wondering, you know, where does everybody get their motivation from? You know, I look at a lot of motivational videos, but you know, it's tough sometimes. It's tough. You know, I just put my mind on zero and just keep going. But I know that, you know, for a lot of people, it's a lot harder than it is for me. You know, I might complain and bitch about everything. You know, this is me. You know, I need to have something to bitch about. But I know that a lot of people have it a lot worse than me. You know, have no money at all. Like, and they still train. You know, they don't know anything about nutrition. They still do this shit every day. They work the shittiest jobs and they do this every day. Gotta imagine that, you know. So what's my excuse? You know, sometimes I don't sleep. You know, I'm a very light sleeper, but you know, I think too much. That's basically my problem. I think way too much. That's my issue. I just cannot stop thinking. I wish I could turn my mind off, but it just won't. Alright? So, that's what's keeping me awake lately. Just thinking about all of this, it's not like I have any stress. I really don't. I came here and I expected it to be like super stressed. I thought, this is gonna kill me. I'm coming here all alone. I don't have anybody. I don't know anybody here. But I came here and I felt so relaxed. I felt like I reached my place. There was kind of a click. Everything just matched. The gym, even the fucking grocery store, everything just matched. It was great. It was great. You even have a little fountain here and everything outside. It's amazing. It's like you're in a holiday park, basically. Everybody's been very nice, and why wouldn't I be motivated? Why wouldn't I be? I left so much shit behind, negative people behind, and it really feels like a fresh start for me. A lot of people watching this may be like, wow, this is a very negative video. I am in a bit of a dip, you might call it that, this has been going on for a couple of months now, so this is nothing new. But I'm not a negative person. I know a lot of people think I am, but I was over there, but I'm really not. I'm just a realist. I see things for what they are, and a lot of people can't take that, so that's fine. You don't have to deal with me if you don't wanna. I don't care. I'm just gonna do my own thing now, and I actually do feel very motivated. I'm making good progress. Even in these last couple of weeks, the progress that I've made, it has been amazing. I came here and all my aches and pains have gone. My stress is gone. It's really weird, actually. It's really weird. I think a lot of issues are caused by our environment, actually, not just us and our choices, like a lot of people say. But I think it's just our environment. My knees were hurting pretty badly, my elbows and my shoulders, and now nothing's hurting. I'm training twice a day, so I don't get it. I don't get where that comes from. And I'm not even using any supplements right now to help my joints or anything, so it's weird. So yeah, damn, this is probably gonna be my longest video ever. I don't know. Maybe I should split it up in 2 parts. I don't know if YouTube will allow me to post all of this at once. But yeah, looking at my life, it's gonna be boring as fuck though. I don't know. I watched a lot of videos, but it's a lot of training videos, not just a couple of talking videos, maybe. Of the people that I'm interested in, like Regan Grimes or Dallas McCarver or Seth Rossi, but not me. I don't see why anybody would watch this, but that's why I'm posting it for me, not just for you, because otherwise nobody would be watching this shit. Probably, it feels so weird. I'm talking to myself in a different language than my own, to a camera. This is the weirdest shit ever. Damn. Gotta think about that. A lot of people don't do this, actually. A lot of well-known bodybuilders don't do this. It's a shame, really, but I understand. They want their privacy and they want their lives to be kept to their own. It's their right? But yeah, posting this out there so people know I'm still alive and kicking hard. Yeah, so let's kick ass. I got a meal coming up in half an hour on the dot, and then I'm gonna train, and I'm gonna eat 2 more times. Probably gonna paint some more. Gonna edit this video. Yeah, that's about it. What my day looks like right now is that I will wake up at 6. Gym opens at 8, so I will eat and then be there at 8. From 8 till 10, I will train and shower. Then I'll have a shake, and I'll come back here, and I'll work, eat, work, eat, work, eat, till it's 8 again, and then I'm gonna train again, and then eat, work, eat, and sleep for like 5 or 6 hours. I don't sleep that much. So I don't get all these people who sleep like fucking 11 hours a day. I don't get that. How do you get all your meals in even? I don't get that. How can you sleep that much and get your meals in, or you don't? You know, just not dedicated. That may also be the case. But you know, for all the people who are like, damn dude, how do you do this every day? Like, how do you get to that level? How do you get to that point? Like, I'm not saying I'm anywhere yet, you know, because I'm really not, you know. In my mind, I'm just getting started. I'm 24 years old, and, you know, I'm not that big. You know, if you look at Dallas McCarver, this guy's like 26, I believe, now. He would mop the floor with me, right? So, but, you know, how do you get to that point? Well, this is how you do it. I'm going to show you guys a bit. I'm going to show you my meals. I'm going to show you my cooking, my training, everything, my life. As boring as it may be, or funny, or disastrous, whatever. It's all going to be here. I don't care. Throwing it out there. So if you want to support me, if you want to like this video, if you want to watch more, I would be very happy. If you want to post some nice comments, that would be great too. You know, I do read all of them. And if you're a hater, if you want to talk shit, please don't. I'm just going to remove it. I don't care. I don't want any negativity anymore in my life. I just want to be happy. I just want to succeed like we all do. So let's just help each other do that. Alright? Peace out.